We know that in chemical reactions, bonds in the reactants break and the new bonds in the products are formed. The net energy change that takes place is known as the enthalpy of reaction. It is easier to study the energy changes in gaseous reactions because in solution the solvent molecules may also interact with the reactants and products, and in the solids the particles are so closely packed that interparticle interactions are very significant. That's why normally we carry out reactions in the gaseous phase because it is easier to work reactions and it is easier to carry out reactions in the gaseous phase because of the maximum free movement. Okay. Now, in chemical reactions carried out in gaseous phase, what is the change in enthalpy? Change in enthalpy delta H is nothing but it is the difference between the total energy required to break the bonds in the molecules of the reactants and total energy released in the formation of bonds in the molecules of products. If the energy required in the bond breaking is more than the energy released in bond making, then delta H is positive and the reaction is endothermic. If the energy required is less than the energy released, then delta H is negative and the reaction is exothermic. So depending upon the value of the delta H, we will classify the reaction into endo or the exo. My dear friends and my dear students, I think what we are going to discuss today. So today we are going to discuss one more enthalpy part of thermodynamics, that is enthalpy of a reaction. So I welcome you all for today's session on standard enthalpy of formation. The name itself indicates standard enthalpy formation. Three important words are here. What is standard? We have to carry out the reaction under standard condition. What is the second word? Enthalpy. What enthalpy changes are there between the reactant and the products? And formation is there. That is to form 1 mole of a particular substance. What are all enthalpy changes are there? If you carry out in the standard condition, that is nothing but what? Standard enthalpy of formation. So let us see in a systematic way what definition or the statement given by the IUPAC. Okay, right. The change in enthalpy that accompanies the formation of 1 mole of the compound at its normal state from its constituent elements in their standard state is known as standard enthalpy of formation. That means here important condition is 1 mole should form, and other one is what? That 1 mole should form from its constituent elements. For example, if you want to prepare 1 mole of NaCl, that 1 mole of NaCl should form from its constituent elements sodium and the chlorine. If you want to prepare sulfuric acid, 1 mole of sulfuric acid, then we have to carry out reaction for the formation of 1 mole of sulfuric acid from its constituent elements such as hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen. So then only it is called a standard enthalpy of formation. So 1 mole should form from its constituent elements under standard conditions. What are standard conditions? Pressure is 1 atmosphere. Okay, that is normal atmospheric pressure. Okay, temperature is room temperature 298 Kelvin or 25 degree centigrade, and the state or the conditions of the reactants or the chemicals should be pure, 100% pure chemicals. Okay, right. Every free element in its standard state is assigned what? As a 0. Means what? What is the standard enthalpy formation of O2, H2, N2? So they are already there. They will take part in the chemical reaction. No? So we have made some conventions. So the standard enthalpy for H2, O2, N2, Cl2, Br2 are taken as 0 for the calculations. Then only we go for the enthalpy formation of other what? Molecules. Okay, right. Now, this is the standard enthalpy change of formation of water. Water is what? H2O. How many different kinds of elements are there? Two different kinds. One is hydrogen, one is O. From those two, it has to form. Definitely, from hydrogen, from the oxygen, it has formed. Therefore, this reaction is called as what? Standard enthalpy change of formation of water molecule. One molecule is formed and from its constituents. So, how much energy is given out? It is minus 286 kilojoules per mole. Okay. So, this is known as what? Standard enthalpy change of formation. Okay, right. One more example. Standard enthalpy of formation of methane from it 1 mole methane. Remember 1 mole from its constituent elements. It is called minus 74.9 kilojoules per mole. Just now I told standard enthalpy of formation of 1 mole of sulfuric acid from its constituent elements like hydrogen, sulfur, and oxygen. So what is the delta H here? It is minus 811 kilojoules per mole. Okay, but this is taken as what? 0. All these conventions we have already made. Okay, right. This is one more example for enthalpy of formation. Okay, here 1 mole of ethanol is formed from its constituent elements, carbon, hydrogen, and the oxygen. What is the enthalpy formation of 1 mole of ethanol? It is minus 277.7 kilojoules per mole. Okay, right. Now, this is a special example. Formation of calcium carbonate. Here, 1 mole of calcium carbonate is formed. But is it formed from its constituent elements? No. So, this is also called as what? Enthalpy of formation only. Though 1 mole of calcium carbonate is formed, but it is not formed from its constituent elements. It is formed by the different route, by the combination of calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So, this is called what? It is a just enthalpy of a reaction. That means enthalpy of a formation and enthalpy of reaction both are same. Small difference is what? Small difference is enthalpy of formation is a special case of enthalpy of reaction, or enthalpy of a reaction is a special case of enthalpy of formation. That means we use enthalpy of formation phrase when 1 mole is formed from its constituent elements. Otherwise, use the general word enthalpy of a reaction. That's why let us clarify here. Though 1 mole of calcium carbonate is formed, but it is not formed from its constituent elements. Therefore, this is not enthalpy of formation. This is enthalpy of a reaction. See this example. Here, HCl is formed from its constituent elements. Agreed. That is, second condition is fulfilled. But what is the first condition? 1 mole is not formed, no? Okay. So, for the enthalpy of formation, both condition has to satisfy. Condition number 1, 1 mole should form. Condition number 2, from its constituent elements. Here, from the constituent elements, it is formed, but it is 2 moles. Therefore, it is not enthalpy of a formation. It is enthalpy of a reaction. Same thing here also. It is a enthalpy of a reaction because 2 moles of HB are formed from its constituent elements. Okay. But one more you see here. H2 plus Br2 gives 2 HBr. That time it is delta H equal to minus 73 kilojoules. Okay. So what is the per mole? Per mole is it's by 2. 73 by 2 equals that whatever you answer will get. That is the what delta H for the formation. Okay. For per mole. Right. Now sign is minus here. This reaction you see 2 HBr decomposing you H2 and the Br2. But the sign is what? Plus the same value. That means when this is exo, this becomes the endo. Same amount of energy is released when these two will combine, or to decompose 2 HBr to give H2 and the Br2, same amount of energy is you have to supply. So plus or minus indicates only what? Whether energy is given out or energy is absorbed. They are no way connection to the mathematical plus or minus. Okay, minus energy given out, plus energy is absorbed. Okay, value is the same. Yeah, please see this one. Please see. Okay, here I have calculated the enthalpy of what? This reaction. Okay, so using the data, calculate the enthalpy of a formation. Okay, how to do? Let us recall the previous knowledge. Okay, So enthalpy of a reaction equal to what? Every time I will not read a standard enthalpy, it is understood, okay? Unless it is not mentioned, unless it is stored or mentioned, it is taken as standard condition only, okay? So enthalpy of reaction equal to sum of the enthalpies of the products minus sum of the enthalpies of the reactants. Whatever difference is here, that is the enthalpy of reaction, okay? What is the equation here? CaCO3 gives CaO plus CO2. First we will calculate the enthalpy of the total enthalpy of the products here, okay? CaO given and CO2 given, these are given in the examination, okay? So they are plus, okay? Together what? This is the total amount. Then minus of the reactants. Reactant is only one. So how much? That is given as minus 1206. So after simplification, how much you will get? You will get 177.8 kilojoules per mole. It is the in plus sign, positive. It is a positive. Delta H. Enthalpy of reaction is positive, indicating what? It is endothermic reaction, heat you have to supply because it is a decomposition. When it is decomposition, you have to heat supply. So this is proved data wise and what example wise. Okay, right. Now, one more small bit is there. All these whatever we studied, chemical reactions where enthalpy is expressed, enthalpy is written, enthalpy is shown, enthalpy is explained. So all these reactions are called as where we talk about the enthalpy of reaction, heat of reaction. They come under the thermochemical equations and the thermochemical reactions. Therm is heat. Chemical equations, chemical reactions means what? Chemical equations are the chemical reactions which accompany heat. They come under the thermochemical equations. It is a big chapter in the physical chemistry. So we study more in our higher classes. Okay, timing will have only idea. What are thermochemical equations or thermochemical reactions? Thermochemical equations are balanced chemical equations that include the physical states of all reactants and products and energy change. See, there are some conditions. Thermochemical equations means what? First, it should be balanced. Okay, then we have to express the physical states of the reactants as well as the products. And the third requirement is what? You have to tell how much energy change is there in the reaction. Okay, please see here. 2H2O upon decomposition gives 2H2 and O2. Okay, first I have written the balancing chemical equation. Condition number one. Second condition, physical state of the reactant as well as the product also mentioned in the bracket. Okay, right. And how much energy is changed? This is energy enthalpy of reaction is equal to 572 positive endothermic. Okay, so complete information given by this equation. Therefore, this equation is called as what? Thermochemical equation. In the same way, this is also combustion of methane. Is example for thermochemical equation where all the conditions are fulfilled. Okay, right. Now this is the what thermochemical equation for combustion of ethanol to give carbon dioxide and water. It is a balancing chemical equation. States are mentioned and enthalpy change is mentioned. So it is an example for thermochemical equation. Now there are some conventions we have made for the thermochemical equations. Let's learn one by one. The sign of delta H indicates whether the reaction is endo or exo at constant pressure or the atmospheric pressure. This already I told. The coefficients of the thermochemical equation represent the number of moles of reactants and products and can be used to derive useful conversion factors. Okay, here whatever coefficients are there behind the formula or the symbol, they are nothing but those many moles are participating in the chemical reaction. Okay, right. The phases of all reactants and products must be specified. Told already. The value of delta H applies when products and reactants are at the same temperature, usually room temperature 25 degrees centigrade, unless stated otherwise. Okay, right. Now, in the thermochemistry or in the thermochemical reaction, one more important lies there, is given by a famous scientist which has worked in the field of thermochemistry, published many papers, and his name is Hess, and the law is called as what? Hess's law of constant heat summation. Okay, so the energy heat summed up totally, and it is given out in the during the chemical reaction. Okay, all right. What is the Hess law? We will understand now. Okay, right. Hess's law of constant heat summation statement: the heat of a reaction or the enthalpy change in chemical reaction depend upon initial state of reactants and final state of products and independent of the path which the reaction is brought about. Heat of reaction is same whether it is carried out in single step or more than one step. It is a state function. That means what Hess want to clarify here, whether reaction takes place in one step or more than one step. Enthalpy change of reaction is the same. That you want to convey. That is called Hess's law of constant heat summation. Okay, and it depends upon the first state, initial state, and the final state. That's why what this is a state function. So heat of reaction for the chemical reactions according to Hess's law is a state function which is depending only on the first and last. Okay, that's why it is called a state function. Okay, this is already cleared under the chapter state variable and the state function. Okay, right. Now, one example to understand Hess's law. This is the reaction between nitrogen and the oxygen to give nitrogen dioxide, NO2. Okay, right. Now, whether this reaction is carried out in one step by the direct combination to give NO2 or it is carried out in a two-step, energy change is the same. So, this is the path number one, direct combination to give nitrogen dioxide. That time, what is the enthalpy change? It is 68 kilojoules. Okay, it is positive. That is, we have to supply to combine N2 and the O2. Now, if this is carried out in the two-step, step number one, in the first step, N2 and O2 reacts to give nitric oxide. Okay, for that enthalpy change is plus 180 kilojoules. Whereas that formed nitric oxide, 2 moles, will react with oxygen to give 2 NO2, 2 moles of NO2. That time enthalpy change what? It is minus 112 kilojoules, which is exothermic. So when you add these two, okay, that time what happens here when you add N2O2, okay, NO is one NO is on the right, one NO on the left, these two will cancel. Okay, right. So after adding these two equations, N2 plus 1O2, 1O2, 2O2 on the LHS, okay, this is cancels. Now on the RHS, product is equal to 2NO2. That time if you add these, what is difference? The difference is plus 68 kilojoules. Whether you go directly or indirectly, answer is the same. That is called Hess's law of heat summation. Sum of all these, how many, whether it is one step, two step, sorry, whether it is two step, three step. So how many steps you are carried out, all you have to add sum. That is the answer. That is known as Hess's law. Okay, right. One more example. Combination of carbon and oxygen to give carbon dioxide, whether it occurs in single step or in two step. If it is carried out in the single step, at time what is the enthalpy of a reaction? It is minus 393.5 kilojoules. Okay. Now let us carry out in the two step. Step number one. First, the carbon reacts with half O2 to give carbon monoxide. Then the formed carbon monoxide will react with half O2 to give the carbon dioxide. And for this reaction, delta H is minus 110.5, whereas for this reaction it is minus 23.0 kilojoules. If you add these two here, CO left CO, right a common. Okay, that time when you add 1C plus half O2, 1O2, cancel CO, gives 2 gives CO2, and so heat summation of these two gives minus 393.5 kilojoule. That means either direct or indirect answer is the same. That is the Hess's law of heat summation. Very important law given by the Hess, diagrammatically represented in this way also. Okay, so CH4 plus 2O2 direct route. This is minus 890 kilojoules. Otherwise, first converting this to this form, then this form to this form. For this minus 607, and for second reaction, second step it is 283 kilojoules. Sum will give you the same answer, minus 890 kilojoules. Okay, so you can use either diagrammatically or by the chemical equation normal method. Okay, now this is what for the conversion of this one, if it is minus, same amount of energy required to what add these two and to get back this one. Okay, so one is exo, one is endo. Already I told sign convention, only change the sign. Okay, same amount of energy requires for the reverse and the forward reaction. Okay, right. Now one more diagrammatic way of representing the Hess's law. Whether you carry out general, this is general example. Whether you are converting A to B directly or A to C first, C to D, then D to B. So A is converting to B via these two. Okay, that time whatever energy change is there, direct from A to B is the same compared to what? Delta H1, delta H2, delta H3, all. So when you add these three, it is the same for A to B. Okay, that is the general equation. So in one more way. So whether you are converting A to D this way or A to B, B to C, C to D. So delta H1 is equal to what? Delta H2 plus delta H3 plus delta H4. Hess's law of constant Heat summation. Okay, right. Now this is a brief history of a famous scientist. Okay, G.H. Hess. Okay, so very famous scientist. And what we conclude? We will conclude the heat evolved or absorbed in a chemical process is the same whether the process takes place in one or several steps. This is strictly according to the first law of thermodynamics, that is the law of conservation of energy, that is energy is neither created nor destroyed, or energy somewhere appears, somewhere disappears. Strictly according to the first law of thermodynamics, energy is conserved. So with this, we will wind up today's discussion, and tomorrow we go for some other area of thermodynamics. Till then, keep thinking and keep studying. Thank you one and all.